Somewhat inappropriate at my age, but there you go. Hi everyone! In today's video, I'd like to share my thoughts on the new Lisa Eldridge Betty palette, named after her beautiful short hair lilac cat, which has so many shades and all these shades in her fur. Now, here are the colours. As you can see, there is a range of lilac, lavendery, pinky shades, as well as warm peach blush shades, and this fantastic, cool, minty shade. If you can see here, it's got a real silvery, minty shift. It's lovely. Good as a topper and good on its own. Now, one of the reasons why I think this is such a great palette is its versatility. Not only can we do, and I will show you later on, lovely, more neutral, minky looks, as well as the lavendery lilac looks, it's also great with for one and dones. I mean, if you look at these shades, there's at least 4 there, probably more, in fact all of them probably, that you can use as just on the mobile lid mascara and you're out the door. One of the reasons that I was quite excited about this palette in terms of showing it to you is there's always lots of videos with, oh, these are my top 6 shades for one and done, and typically they tend to be monos that we end up buying. I did this, and there's a shade in Dior called Beige Mitzah, which you've probably heard of because it features so often in these videos and these recommendations. I want to show you the colour because look how similar it is to the shade that Lisa calls Posh, which is this one. So this is the thing that I want to talk to you about, because actually instead of buying for frankly £32 Beige Mitzah from Dior, you actually get it in this palette for £49, as well as 5 other fabulous shades for versatile looks. Now, it's not that you may or may not have had a burning desire for Beige Mitzah. I think what I'm trying to say to you is these kinds of shades on their own are worth buying. Here, you're getting 6 in one palette, and it's just the thoughtfulness, the way this has been curated. It's just fantastic and so versatile. I really feel with this palette, we're getting a lot of value for money, actually. We get a mirror, it's beautiful packaging, like a really lovely tactile pebble that's been sort of worn down by the sea over time. It's just glorious, it really is, and so classy. It's a classy experience opening it up. As I said, good size mirror and fantastic eyeshadows with no fallout and so creamy, they just blend like an absolute dream. I should also say this is limited edition, so if you are interested and after you've watched your reviews and whatever you want to do, you need to go for it, because limited edition is exactly that with Lisa Eldridge. So please bear that in mind. Retails at £49, and I will now show you a couple of looks. I'm going to try something quite soft actually with this one. Let's see where we're at. So I'm just starting with Posh, which is in the middle, which is this really lovely minky taupey glimmery shade. But as you can see, it's not really glimmery. God, it doesn't take very much. The thing about Lisa Eldridge is I really feel she doesn't take us for granted. She really, and it's a really overused word I feel, but she really curates her palette so that all 6 of the shades do different things and can be used differently, not least as a one and done. I mean, frankly, you could just put this on, put some mascara on, and you're out the door. I mean, it's just lovely. So they're very versatile. I don't feel that I'm buying a colour story and I'm stuck with it, which sometimes can happen with slightly bigger palettes. I do feel that. But with these, and I feel this about Sorcery and Muse, these are the other 2 palettes of hers that I've got. I use a lot of them just as one and dones and also for just different looks, but it's so versatile. You just take one palette away with you if need be. So here we go. That's Posh. I'm going to put a little bit of Talk to the Paw in my crease, very gently. Okay, and then we'll put a little bit of High Maintenance in the corner, because this glimmery, soft, peachy shade is really lovely and actually very summery when we get to it, if we get to it in the UK. So that's what that looks like without having gone down any of the lilac or either of the lilac or lavender shades for the moment. I do apologise for my phone ringing. Apparently I have family responsibilities as well as my own responsibility for sitting here and enjoying makeup with you, so I do apologise. I just want to say that out of the 6 colours, I haven't used either of the lilac lavender or the sparkly bluey greeny shade. I've just used the taupey minky shades, and look how lovely this is. So this is very much one look you can definitely get from this £6 palette. Just to show you, I know we haven't got any eyeliner on or mascara, but I just want to show you that this is a lovely everyday colour, everyday look where you're not committing yourself to any razzle dazzle, as it were. However, this is Amelia's Beauty Chat, and so we are going to put some razzle dazzle in because this is what we're all here for. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to put a little bit of Lavender Queen in the corner, and let's see what that looks like, and if indeed it shows up, because I am putting it over high maintenance. But oh yes, that's very nice. Here we go. I was going to say I rather feel that the two would go together. It's a nice soft way of wearing this colour. Okay, I'm just going to blend it in a little bit with the brush that had high maintenance on, and then I rather feel that I would like to put a little bit of this in, which is Starlet. Oh, I'm going to use my finger. That's rather nice. This is one of those colours that makes me want to wink at everybody so that they can admire my eyeshadow. Somewhat inappropriate at my age, but there you go. Okay, so that's what we have here. And I think for kicks and giggles, let us put some Prima Donna on because it's here and I feel it would be rude not to. We'll just put some in the centre there, just to get a little bit of that lovely lavendery shade. I actually think that this is still a very soft look. Yes, I've committed to colour. Yes, I've committed to the lavender colour story, lavender lilac story, but it's still soft. Now, I do appreciate that I've got brown eyes and tan skin, so it's probably, maybe it's a bit easier to wear. However, I think that if you had a lighter hand, and most people have got a lighter hand because I'm quite heavy-handed with makeup, I rather feel, and it is something that I have vowed, amend this year, and this actually is the improved version, if you can believe it, but it's still a very soft look, so I really like this. Now I'm just going to put a little bit underneath. I think what we're going to do is we'll put some Talk to the Pore underneath. Now Lisa has brought out a lovely new mascara which is in a brown tone, in what she calls an umber tone, burnt umber in fact. And if you are a watercolour artist, or even if like me you did a lot of it at school, you will know that burnt umber is very much a classical Winsor and Newton shade, and it's super flattering. I've really experimented with this mascara and I really like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get the mascara so I can show it to you, but what I really want to do is show you some other mascaras and see how they compare. So back in a sec. So before I go ahead and apply Lisa's Burnt Umber mascara, a quick word on my stance on brown mascaras, about which I am evangelical. It's such a soft look, so easy to wear, so forgiving, and just fantastic. I'm a real fan, and so I always have at least a couple on the go. Let me show you some of my current favourites, because then you can see how the colour compares and how Lisa has done something actually different, frankly. So starting from the most expensive, YSL Lash Clash. This one, brown, dark brown, it's great. This one is Benefit BADgal, I can never pronounce this, I'm sorry, BADgal Bang. It's not one of my favourites, but it's quite a good colour, but it doesn't give you the real thickness and va-va-voom that YSL does. This one is Maybelline. I am not snobby about mascaras at all. Honestly, I think mascaras is the one product that, for want of a better word, from a drugstore point of view, is the most predictably good product for the price. I really do think that. So I always have at least one on the go. So this is Maybelline. It's a really good mascara. This is called Sky High. I think it's fantastic, but the brown is great. And then this one, which is a recent purchase, is the Sephora Size Up in brown. I'd just like to say how much I appreciate that Sephora has actually got a brown container so you can fish it out and which one you're getting. I know Benefit does the same thing, but I really appreciate that when you've got a lot on the go. Anyway, that's how they compare. This is Lisa Eldridge. I'm going to put this close up so you can have a look. Can you see Lisa's is much more of a conker chestnutty colour? Yeah, and remember the one at the top is the Sephora, which actually is the lightest of the 4 that I've hitherto had on the go. Now, I don't have it to show you, but Charlotte Tilbury a couple of years ago brought out Pillow Talk, I've got it written down, Dream Pop. Now, I went through 3 of these, 1 last summer and 2 the summer before, I think. It's a good summer shade. However, I prefer Lisa's because unlike the Charlotte Tilbury, which has got much more of a burgundy tint, which I really like in the summer, but I didn't find as wearable throughout the year, this one is very much a lovely warm brown with a little bit of red in it, but it doesn't have that burgundy thing that catches the light and might feel a bit too much. That's why I thought it bore comparison to see with other brown mascaras, because this one I think is now going to be my new favourite. Actually, it's funny how things work out, because and how the makeup gods have actually looked after me, because I've been trying to buy the Charlotte Tilbury and it's been out of stock, and I now wonder whether they're going to discontinue it. I'm not saying I know, I've got no idea, but that tends to be what happens with mascaras that are towards browns. Everyone gets excited about them, then they don't sell well enough, and then the brands don't continue manufacturing it. I hope this doesn't happen with this one, because it's a good mascara. This is Burnt Umber in Kitten Lash. This is the brush, it's slightly curved. It's not like a really thickening mascara, it's just quite a feathery, separating mascara. It doesn't flake, which I really appreciate, and it lengthens. It's a nice, soft mascara. To begin with, when I bought this in black on the original, and I didn't really like it, but I think, to be honest, I didn't understand the product. I was looking for a mascara that was an all-in-one thickening and everything, and I didn't read the packaging properly, and I was in a rush, and it was new and I was excited. But actually, as time went on, I started to appreciate it because, as I said, it separates, it gives curl, but it's quite a gentle, fluttery look as opposed to a dramatic look. And when I first bought it, I was very much in my YSL Lash Clash phase. And the thing about YSL Lash Clash is it's full on, you know you're wearing mascara, and so does the world. Whereas this is a bit more refined, I would say, and I do like it, and I really like this colour. So I do urge you to give brown mascara in general a go if you do sometimes feel that black might be a bit harsh, or feels like it's a bit too much if that's all you're wearing, if you're not wearing any eyeshadow and you just want some mascara to be out the door with. Brown mascara is your friend, I rather feel, particularly on mature eyes. I kind of feel I'm a lone voice, and I do get very excited when brands like Lisa's bring out a brown mascara, because it's a really nice alternative look. And especially if you're just starting out in makeup and perhaps not feeling terribly confident, it also comes to that as well. As you can see, it's lifting my lashes nicely. It's separating them nicely. I think it's doing a very good job. And the other thing that I really like is the first 3 eyeshadows I put on before we went down the lilac and lavender shimmery look. If you wore the brown mascara with just those colours as well, that's a lovely soft, soft look. So I do feel that what's wonderful about this palette is it's a palette of 2 halves. You can go down the peachy, goldy, taupey look, or you can go down the lavender, lilac, shimmery look. And you can do the one and dones. So I have to say, for a £6 palette, that's an awful lot of versatility. I've been fiddling around more and more with the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, which I recently reviewed. And I have come to the conclusion that actually, given that I've got 15 colours to choose from, it's not really that versatile. Whereas this little number, 6 palettes, 6 colours, beautifully thought through, beautifully curated, as I say, so versatile. So I do feel this palette is more than the sum of its parts. So that is probably 2 coats. Probably not quite 2 coats, because I have been chatting and I haven't really been concentrating. But let's say it's 2 coats. That's what it looks like. I rather like it. What do you think? Comment down below and let me know. So having lined my lips with Muse, Lisa Eldridge's Muse, look at that. This is my second one. There you go. Can you see I like it? So I've lined my lips with that, and then I've put some Balm Embrace in Epanui, this colour. It's not new, but it's new to me. and I do like it. Nice and easy. I've worn it quite a bit actually over the last few days, and I find it very moisturising. I mean, I know because at the end of the day my lips are not ending up dry by the time I take my makeup off and so on, so it's obviously very moisturising, so that's good. And this is the finished look. Now, what I rather feel about this palette is it's a slightly weird experience for me. I feel we're in the month of March, and I do wonder whether I already have bought and experienced and fallen in love with my palette of the year, because this does everything. As I say, you've got a bit of everything in this, and the whole one and done thing for me is such a seductive thing in such a small palette. So it's not just that we've got the two looks that I have talked about, at least two looks, sorry, but I've also got this whole one and done thing going on, which I really love because I am very much a one and done person. So I'm thrilled. It's tiny. It's a small palette. I love her packaging. I mean, I've got the other two. I'll show you. I've got Muse, which I do wear a lot and I do really like. That's a very soft look for me, which I really appreciate. And then I've got Sorcery, which I am just profoundly in love with because it does an awful lot. A bit like Betty, although this is very dramatic, or can be more dramatic. You can have very much punchy greens, you've got blues in there, and then you've got this really lovely shimmery shade which goes with either the blues or the greens. So again, it is a palette of two halves, but they are much more dramatic. The thing about Betty, and I would say out of all three, Betty's probably the one that does this the most, is I feel you can get drama if you want out of Betty. You can get a lovely medium mid-tone shimmery lilac-y look, or as I keep saying, you can get this lovely peachy soft look. So incredibly versatile and just so clever, so well thought through. And as I say, I really do notice this in Lisa Eldridge, so respectful of the customer who has so much choice now. And it's not to do with whether you want to spend a certain amount necessarily or not, but nobody wants to feel ripped off, and everybody wants to feel, it seems to me, or at least I know I do, that I've got some value for money out of it. And if it's just a one-trick pony, then in this day and age when people like Lisa are really thinking things through, it doesn't compare as well. So I think this is fantastic, and I honestly think this is it's a real contender for palette of the year. Let's see what the other 9 months bring, but what a start. This is one hell of a start to my quest for palette of the year, because this is going to take some beating. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know if you're going to go for this palette, and if indeed you've enjoyed any of Lisa Eldridge's eyeshadows or any of her products, be they mascara, lip, complexion, or skincare as well. I have started to dabble in her cleanser because I got a sample with my box from her, and I tried it and I really liked it. So I've put that in my Space NK basket for the next Space NK order. So do let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So do comment down below, do give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.